Hi everybody, the new Sangean ATS-909X2 has arrived. I've had a little bit of time to play with it and I have to say I'm very impressed. But I'll get straight into it, try to get as much as I can into as short as possible video because I know people don't like watching long videos. So
With dignity and responsibility, the pleasant burden of famous name. The American conductor Stokowski used to say that, quote,
that's a 49-meter band.
To his family of musicians, and not only to them.
Двигаться дальше.
That we know the things that happen to Christian believers in some
Bandwidth.
we know that God sees that and those suffering producing that. That's not but even if they are killed in this life, they'll be resurrected in
Please don't use that for other things like 我简直不敢吃这个。又不说过大概3周。Kilometer nördlich von Urumqi, der Hauptstadt des nordwestchinesischen uigurischen autonomen Gebiets Xinjiang, befindet sich der Tecsun of 24 countries and 3 continents.
Here's your info button. Shows SNR and dB. Now I don't know what the stroke is, maybe minimum max, but as you can see it's quite a strong signal, so that's interesting to see.
Wild experience for me because people thought I was, really out there, and who in the world was ever going to accept this? I wrote the first proposal to a company which was at the time the world's largest cosmetics company. Running was always being sponsored by shoe companies or beer companies or something like that, and I thought, well, that's not going to be appealing to women.
That's a tone switch.
That's feminine.
That's the top position.
A marathon for women only.
Middle.
It was hugely successful.
Bottom.
Publicity was everywhere. Sports Illustrated, New York Times,
Top.
all 3 networks in the United States.
Middle.
And the
Bottom.
marathon that turned the tide for us, every year we took the top runners from these different events.
The antenna I'm using is the myantennas.com EFHW8010, and it's I've noticed no overload on this radio, except on long wave, which is to be expected on a portable radio with an 80-meter long antenna, or 134 feet for those of you watching across the pond. Yeah, I mean, you're going to expect some overload in a portable radio, but I'm very impressed in shortwave. I have not noticed that with this antenna. On long wave, yes, a little bit, but I've tested it out earlier. I'm quite happy to find out that long wave and medium wave work via the external antenna socket, and I'm quite impressed because the long wave performance is so much better than on the Tecsun Pl-889, which is horrible sound. You'll hear that on one of my other videos. The overload is quite severe on the long wave on the 990X. So let's go. Oh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try ECSS mode, or 0 beat, whatever you want to call it. Now on the PL880, the Tecsun radios, the DSP radios, the 990X and the S8800, the SSB distortion, the sound quality is extremely bad to my ears. On this there's no distortion, so on the Tecsuns you can't really 0 beat on SSB, but we'll try it here now. And SSB on the shortwave station and the commercial bands can really reduce the effects of fading, and also it can eliminate or greatly reduce the effects of an adjacent channel that's or station that's close by. So we'll see what it sounds like.
For women, and we were allowed to run.
she's getting the most fantastic applause. And she will run one lap of the stadium.
But it was more important that 2.2 billion people were watching it on television, because every country in the world watching knows how far 26 miles or 42 kilometers is, and they know it's a long way. And here were women running it.
Does the tone switch in the bottom?
Speed and grace.
Top, middle,
So to me, that was really
bottom.
one of the most important moments,
Top,
not only in women's sports history, but women's history.
middle,
You were commentating that day.
bottom.
I was commentating for ABC, and it was really
Top.
an emotional moment for me, and I couldn't allow.
So you can see straight away, if anyone's familiar with the Tecsun radios, the DSP radios, how good that sounds on SSB. We're on lower sideband there, and the clarity, the quality of that sound is just amazing.
Revolution. It's certainly much more than just having another event included.
And it really does help against the effects of fading. You can see the signal bouncing up and down there. It's I'm really happy with that. Now we'll go to upper sideband. Oops.
I ran my best time in 1975 in the Boston Marathon. I improved that 4 hours and 20 minutes to 2 hours and 51 minutes. It's a world-class time. Then it's still good now. But by 76, I was being offered television opportunities. I wanted to create this program. So
Tone
I
in middle position.
Time now in my life to train hard for a marathon.
Tone in bottom
running,
position.
Races, not too seriously.
Tone in
And
top
then,
position.
32 years later, I was at a book signing, and women who were 65 and 70 were coming up to me and saying, I'm running my first marathon tomorrow. I only started running 3 years ago, and I realized that older...
Back to lower sideband.
But I didn't realize that older people were often starting very late. And I got quite jealous, and I thought, I wonder if they, as older women with new legs, can run, if I, as an older woman with old legs, can get it back. Physiologically, I'm really curious. So I trained and trained and trained. And then in 2017, I registered for the Boston Marathon, again, for my 50th anniversary.
Tone in bottom position.
Years old at that point? Yes, I was 70. So
Top.
here I was on the starting line, and this time I was
Middle position.
surrounded by 125 women, 7 men, who...
I mean, you would really not think you're in SSB here. I mean, that's just amazing clarity.
Which was called...
And there's no distortion. I mean, the Tecsun radios sound really awful. The 880 and the 990X.
Over the last few years, suddenly it become a number
I mean, that's just amazing. We'll go back to AM.
Reading to it and writing it on the arms and wearing...
And you can hear the fading straight away. So this is why, to me, good performance in SSB, good sound quality is absolutely essential. And it's good for pulling in weak stations that have another station close by. And it can reduce or eliminate the interfering station or noise source.
And welcoming, and show them that they too can run. We're now in 12 countries. We're very, very excited about this movement. And I also looked around, remembering that I was the only woman wearing a bib. 54. Now I was surrounded by 13,500 women who had qualified to run the Boston Marathon, and they were all wearing bibs, and the race had effectively become 50% men, 50% women.
With right now, in the center of your screen, in the visor was number 261.
You can hear how fading, how it's not much of an issue now.
Doing it again here, 50 years.
And it was an amazing moment for me. And as I ran, I stopped 13 times. I hugged every little kid I could. I did 8 interviews, and I still only ran 20 minutes slower
Back to AM.
than I did. Wow. So coming across that finish line, where my husband was waiting for me, and also I could see standing down on the finish line.
I think that's pretty amazing. Really, it's incredible performance in sideband.
Of the Boston Athletic Association.
Okay, I haven't figured out yet how to enter a frequency directly via the keypad. All I can seem to manage is hitting the memory buttons. Let's see how our preacher friend brother Stair is getting on. There we go.
Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devil. Speaking. Having a conscience seared with a hot iron.
That's not Brothers there, but anyways, it's WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Usually comes through pretty strong here. Up another hour or two, it'll be gone. Conditions will fade.
See them coming the road and they're heading pell-mell on the other side of the hill. And, you know, I stand there. Any man of God is standing there and saying, turn back, go back. I say that's mercy. That is mercy.
On switch. Bottom position.
But I'm giving to you now is the mercy of God, who so loved you.
Top position.
Put you in a seat in this church. This
Middle.
day. He said today, now.
Bottom.
Is the time to make it right.
I also heard there's some people have complained that the frequency is off, or there's poor performance on long wave, but I haven't noticed anything like that. No birdies, nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, I'm really impressed with the performance of this radio. I haven't tested telescopic whip yet much. I compared it with the 990X earlier, and I was picking up a US ham on 20 meters, pretty much about the same on the Sangean as I was on the Tecsun radio. Again, I really have to do more testing with that, maybe at the weekend. But as I say, I always listen with external antenna, because the telescopic whip means you hear practically nothing compared to external antenna. Long wave, medium wave works with the external antenna, but with this antenna it does overload it. With the Bonito MA305, long wave comes through really well, much better than on the Tecsun Pl-889, and that's a win for me, because I really like long wave. It's I'll just see if I can get some hams here, if I can. Yeah, okay, so we'll go to 80 meters. Unfortunately, here is ends at 3800.
To have visit there, now a second home. Oh, okay. Again, keep calling for all members of the Royal Naval Amateur Radio Society. G4SJY.
Now you'll notice bandwidth doesn't work on sideband. Now, I don't know why. I don't know if it's much of a problem. The Tecsun has bandwidth options on sideband, but the sound quality is so bad, it's really of no benefit. With the distortion and the poor sound quality on the Pl-990X and the Pl-880. So, to me, having that bandwidth option on a radio that has such bad sound on sideband, having the bandwidth options is kind of irrelevant. Whereas with this, there's no distortion at all. The sound is lovely and clear. That's tone in middle position. Top position, and you can hear the background noise. It's very quiet.
G4SJY calling CQ, hello CQ Navy, the CQ Navy. From the property since we had that awful disease, absolutely diabolical.
And I still don't feel right myself at the moment there, Wolfgang. I've been listening out for you and looking for you, but I haven't heard anything. And it was a very, very big surprise when he came up on 775 there, Wolfgang. But one thing about it, certainly, you have nothing.
Just listen to the low noise floor on this radio. It's such a quiet receiver. This is 80 meters at local time, which is 18:55 UTC. It's incredible. I really like this radio. I have to go. I'll create more videos, but initial impressions are quite good. I have to test the headphone output, because on the old one the headphone audio output was too low. The volume was too low on SSB. On the old radio, the old Sangean, the AM sound quality was pretty bad. It was very muddy sounding, but on this it's really, really good. Why the bandwidth filter doesn't work on sideband, I don't know, but because the sound quality is too good, I think I could live with that. Whereas on the Tecsun Pl-889, the sound quality is bad, the distortion, but you really only have the 3 kHz filter that's usable on that. If you go to the 2.5 or 2.3, whatever it is, I think the sound quality it's just not good. So the benefits of the filtering on the Tecsun are kind of wiped out by its extremely bad sound quality. Whereas on this, the 909X2, I'm quite happy with that. Sound quality is very good. So initial impressions are good. I noticed no birdies, no the frequency is not off. It's calibrated fine. And I know that as well by going to Longwave 2.2, it's spot on, and BBC 4 on 198 kilohertz on Longwave, it's spot on. And as far as I can tell on Chartwave, you saw 13845 WWCR in Nashville, it's spot on as well. So yeah, I'm very impressed with this so far. More testing to do, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and leave your comments below.